to be delivered by Hafiz Ahmad Jibril. I'm sorry, I must inform you that Hafiz Ahmad Jibril Said Sahib is missionary and Naib Amir, Ghana.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعد الله الذين آمنوا منكم وعملوا الصالحات ليستخلفنهم في الأرض كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم وليمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم وليبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا ومن كفر بعد ذلك فأولئك هم الفاسقون. Mr. Chairman and my dear brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
As it has been announced, the title of my presentation this morning is Khilafat, the distinguishing feature of Ahmadiyya Muslim community. The verse that I recited here before you contains a promise, an assurance from Almighty Allah Himself that those who truly believe and do good works will be rewarded with spiritual succession, namely spiritual succession, namely the institution of Khilafat on the earth, just as believers in the past were rewarded with Khilafat. This great reward is conditional on Iman and Amal Salih, that is true faith and righteous conduct. I just want to narrate a short incident which happened and which is relevant to my speech here this morning. I was on the train on the continent. I met an official, immigration official, who took my passport and asked me, who are you and where are you from? I said, I'm from Ghana. Are you a Muslim? I said, yes, I am a Muslim. Which type of Islam? It seems he was well informed. I said, I am an Ahmadi Muslim. His face brightened up and said, are you a member of that group which follows that man with saintly face, angelic looking, who radiates peace and goodwill, and who lives in London? I said, certainly, certainly. He said, the world is a better place with such people. Then I said, he is our Imam, our leader, and we call him the Khalifa. He said, yes, I've seen him on the screen, and I'm sure the people who follow such a person can only be source of goodwill, source of goodness for the world. Keep it up. He handed over my passport to me and went on without giving me the chance even to do some tabligh. This is a testimony of a non-Muslim, highly professional official, unbiased, honest and sincere. And his verdict is that Khilafat indeed distinguishes the Ahmadiyya Muslim community from all others. If you have a leader like this, you are on the right path. That is what he was trying to tell me. Mr. Chairman, Khilafat indeed is the soul and heart of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. The dynamism of the Jamaat, which has survived the incessant attacks for the past 1 century, is due to the blessing of Khilafat. The first and foremost distinguishing feature of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community that comes into mind is that it is the only Jamaat on this planet among the Muslims which has the unique blessing of fulfilling this promise of Allah contained in the verse that I read. And that is, it is the only Jamaat with a living spiritual succession of Khilafat. And for over the past 100 years, there has been an unbroken chain of this divine institution, which is the moral and spiritual guidance for the world. Secondly, this Jamaat is distinctive because it is the only community which fulfills and continues to fulfill the conditions established by the Holy Quran itself for the blessings of Khilafat, without which there cannot be Khilafat. And which are the conditions? I'll come to that later. The enemies of the Jamaat must acknowledge this reality, that the fact that the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is distinguished with Khilafat as envisaged by the Holy Quran is a clear evidence that the Jamaat is fulfilling this condition of Iman and Amal Salih, that is true faith and righteous conduct. Before I mention other distinctive features of the community, Mr. Chairman, please allow me a few minutes to go into the memory lane. One of the greatest calamities that befell Islam was the murder of the Khalifa Rashid, Uthman bin Affan, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, by a group of Muslims who had deprived his household of taking water from the very well he had purchased and donated to the Muslims of Medina. The rebellious young men climbed over the sanctity of his wall to murder him. He spoke to them on that occasion, cautioned and warned, and I quote, "If you murder me today, then remember, by Allah, after me, the Muslims will never be united in prayer behind one Imam. Your unity will be shattered forever, and you will never succeed in presenting united front to fight your enemies." Unquote, Tabaqatul Kubra, Volume 3, page 72. That is, the disintegration of Muslims is a result of this curse, maybe you can call it a curse, in murdering the Khalifa. This young rebellious group ignored the clear and dire warning and martyred the Khalifa appointed by Allah. Though we cannot say that these people were not believers, we don't have the right to say that, but we can certainly say that they failed in the crucial condition for the maintenance of the blessed institution of Khilafat, that is Amal Salih, in the language of the Holy Quran. And as a result, they brought the calamity on the whole Ummah. We lost the blessings of Khilafat because even though Sayyidina Ali was a true Khalifa, he spent all his few years trying to reconstruct and maintain the shattered Khilafat with little success. We lost it because collectively as Muslims, we allowed Amal Ghayr Salih, unrighteous conduct, indeed heinous crime, to succeed. The Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ foretold and prophesied concerning this painful part of our history. He said, "An Hudayfa radiallahu ta'ala anhu qala, qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, takunu nabuwatu fikum ma sha Allah an takuna, thumma yarfa'uha Allah iza sha'a an yarfa'aha Allah ta'ala, thumma takunu khilafa ala minhaj an-nabuwah, fatakunu ma sha Allah an takuna, thumma yarfa'uha iza sha'a Allah ta'ala an yarfa'aha, ثم تكون ملكا عضا فيكون ما شاء الله أن يكون ثم يرفعها إذا شاء أن يرفعها الله تعالى أن يرفعها الله تعالى ثم تكون ملكا جبرية فتكون ما شاء الله أن تكون ثم يرفعها إذا شاء الله تعالى أن يرفعها ثم تكون خلافة على منهاج النبوة ثم سكت." Musnad al-Imam Ahmed, Bab Hadith Numan bin Bashir, Ani Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That is, Hazrat Hudayfa radiallahu ta'ala relates that the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, "Prophetic period shall remain among you for so long as Allah wishes, and then it shall be taken away by Allah. Then it will be followed by Khilafat under precepts, and pattern of prophethood. This will remain for so long as Allah wills, and it shall be taken away. Then tyrannical monarchy will emerge and remain among you for so long as Allah wishes, and then Allah will abolish that. Then shall follow despotic monarchy, and will stay for so long as Allah wishes. Then Allah will bring an end to it, to that also. Then finally, Khilafat on the precepts of prophethood will be re-established once again. Thumma sakata. Then the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam became silent. This is a remarkable prophecy fulfilled in a dramatic way. The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away. The alarm, uncertainty, confusion, genuine fears, rebellion, helplessness and hopelessness that followed was quickly and swiftly replaced with certainty, security, peace and hope, with the swift election of Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu as the Khalifa, or the true representative of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who had just passed away from mortality to immortality. Indeed, Allah dried away the tears of the Muslims with the swift establishment of Khilafat. He was followed by Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab, Uthman bin Affan, and Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in. May Allah be pleased with all of them. After them, the era of Khilafatul Rashidin elapsed, followed by a long period of monarchs and dictatorial rulers. As Ummatul Muslima, or the Muslim community, saw the total fulfillment of this grand prophecy and witnessed the world of Islam aimless and leaderless in spiritual wilderness and decadence, moral decadence, Muslims prayed and looked to the skies, to the heavens, for the fulfillment of the last part of the prophecy. Finally, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responded to the agony of the Muslims and caused the fulfillment of the last part of the prophecy with the appointment of Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmed radiallahu ta'ala alayhi salatu wassalam of Qadian, the messenger of Allah, who indeed was the greatest Khalifa of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and who after his demise made way for the re-establishment of Khilafat ala minhaj an-Nubuwah, exactly as prophesied by the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And before his demise, before his departure from this world, he gave us the glad tidings concerning the re-establishment of Khilafat ala minhaj an-Nubuwah. And I quote, "You should not therefore grieve over what I've told you, nor should you let yourselves be heartbroken, for you are destined to see the second manifestation of God's power as well. And the coming of the manifestation will be better for you, for it will be everlasting, of which the chain shall never be broken until the day of judgment. And that second manifestation cannot come except after I am gone. But when I go away, Allah shall send the second manifestation for you, and it shall stay with you always." Unquote. This is from Al-Wasiyah, page 6 and 7. The third unique distinction of Ahmadi Muslim community, therefore, is that this landmark prophecy of our beloved Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as expounded by his true successor or Khalifa, Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmed alayhi salatu wasalam, has indeed been fulfilled completely and absolutely in the Jamaat Ahmadiyya. The Muslim world cannot and should not pretend as if this prophecy did not exist. Let us all remember that Khilafat is unlike any worldly institution. Khulafa, like prophets, are appointed by Allah himself. The only difference is that prophets are appointed directly by Allah, while in the case of Khulafa, Allah uses the medium of believers to appoint them. Again, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reported to have said, "Ma min nabuwatin qattu illa tabi'atha khilafa." That is, there have never been prophethood, never, except that it has always been followed by khilafat. It means khilafat must be preceded by a prophet. Today, Muslim thinkers and well-meaning leaders all agree that in order to arrest the confusion and hopelessness in the ranks of Muslims, and for Muslims to have any influence in the world, indeed influence in their own countries, communities, societies, and homes. They need to be united under a single leadership, precisely Khilafat. Several suggestions, proposals, and attempts have been made in order to achieve this elusive unity with no success whatsoever. What we conveniently forget is that the tree of Khilafat, which was cruelly cut down, cannot never be replaced by mortal men. Khilafat cannot be found in conference rooms. It cannot be realized with passing of resolutions. Muslim political leaders cannot invent Khilafat. Khilafat cannot be bought with petrodollars. Because in the history of the world, Khilafat has never been created by men, how well intentioned. It must be replanted by Allah with appointment of a prophet, as it has been the Sunnatullah, or the tradition and way of Allah, emphasized in this statement of the Holy Prophet Muhammad Islam, مَا مِن نَبُوَّةٍ قَطُّ إِلَّا تَبِعَتْهَا خِلَافًا. The dilemma of the Muslim ulama is that in their hearts they yearn and cherish the re-establishment of Khilafat. But Khilafat must necessarily be preceded by a prophet. And you have told the whole world that you will never allow a prophet to appear. So how do you solve this self-inflicted pain? How do you solve this dilemma? The foundation of Khilafat has to be prophethood, not resolution by politicians. And you hate to see appearance of prophet. Therefore, how do you achieve your desire? Leadership. In all matters, effective leadership is a precondition for cohesion, unity, and success. No matter how good a society may be, if there is no united leadership, the floodgates for chaos and confusion is wide open. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community, by the grace of Allah, is unique among all Muslim communities because we have in Khilafat one community, one leader. For over 100 years, the institution of Khilafat has been alive only in the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, and it is Khilafat which has sustained this community. This is indeed a distinction for which we say Alhamdulillah.
Nare Takbir! Nare Takbir! Khilafat-e Ahmadiyya! Khilafat-e Ahmadiyya! Nare Takbir!
The fifth distinctive feature of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, which is also very important, is that the promised Messiah and Imam Mahdi has been called Khalifatullah. That is the representative of Allah himself on earth. Allah's spokesman. In our place we say linguist. Allah's linguist on the earth. Indeed, the holy founder of Ahmadiyya Muslim community spoke for Allah with over 80 books and pamphlets. The Holy Prophet Muhammad Islam instructed the whole of mankind, particularly the Muslims, in these words. فَإِذَا رَأَيْتُمُوهُ فَبَايِعُوهُ وَلَوْ حَبٌّ عَلَى الثَّلْجِ فَإِنَّهُ خَلِيفَةُ اللَّهِ الْمَهْدِي. That is, when you see him, when you recognize him, pledge allegiance at his hands, even if you have to crawl on ice to reach him, because he, the Mahdi, or the rightly guided one, is the spokesman of Allah on the earth. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community indeed has the honor, privilege, and blessing, the distinction of saying Labbaika to the command of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, because we are the only people on the planet who have not only recognized him, but have pledged allegiance to him. We may not need to literally crawl on the ice to take the bayat, but we cross deserts. We travel over oceans, vast oceans. We cross the mountains every year from every corner of the earth to take the bayah without fail. How blessed is this community? And that is what we are going to do here this morning, and millions of Ahmadis all over the world will join us in fulfillment of the order of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. People pledge allegiance to their peers, sheikhs. Some choose to follow chiefs, others are ready to die for their kings and generals. Some follow their presidents, some are ready to sacrifice their lives for their beloved leaders. The members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community say that you can have all of them. We are people who have chosen to sacrifice our lives, time and everything for Khilafat. while we obey the political authority in every country as commanded by Allah himself in the Holy Quran, قُلْ أَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُوا الرَّسُولَ وَأُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْكُمْ. In the matter of morality and spirituality, the whole Ahmadi Muslim community knows no other authority apart from the Khalifa. Therefore, in the villages of Indonesia, in sub-Saharan Africa, in the islands of the Pacific, in India and Pakistan, in Europe, America, and now also in the lands of Arabs, you will meet people whose love and devotion to Khilafat cannot be equaled in any worldly leader or institution. The cord that binds individual Ahmadis to our Khalifa across the globe is unbreakable and transcends any worldly relationship. Khilafat, therefore, is the distinguishing feature of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Unity of Ahmadis across the globe due to Khilafat. Late last year, I was instructed by Hudur Ayadullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz to visit a few countries on an assignment. Wherever I went, people wanted to know what was the difference between Ahmadiyyat and so many other Muslim groups and sects. I had one clear answer for them, and that is one of the main distinctions that separates the Jamaat Ahmadiyya and all others is that we Ahmadis have a supreme leader, one Imam, never mind what country, continent, city, village, or settlement anywhere in the world Ahmadi may be. We know and obey only one leader and bow to his command. There is no other community like that. The result of this unique situation is that when a true Ahmadi finds himself in any part of the world, maybe in the Kalahari Desert, maybe in Greenland, away from his home, all what he needs to do is to find an Ahmadi, brother or sister, and you will instantly find a brother or a sister and receive genuine welcome and assistance. Let some other Muslim not belonging to the Ahmadiyya Jamaat go to Senegal, Indonesia, and Pakistan and say, I am from Ghana or Germany and I belong to the same Jamaat with you. They will look at his face and say, so what, and so what? In fact, such an introduction, that I'm a Shia like you, I'm a Sunni like you, such an introduction will make you a suspect instantly, that you maybe have something under your sleeves. That is not with the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. So what has made the distinctive difference? Why are Ahmadis welcome in each other's homes all over the world? Precisely because the Jamaat Ahmadiyya has always been blessed with a Khalifa, a spiritual father who binds us all and makes us one family. The promise of Allah to the believers. Mr. Chairman, please allow me to go back to the verse I recited in the beginning. The promise of Allah to the believers to establish them on the earth has some very important elements. I can only cite one or two. Firstly, it says, Allazina amanu minkum, which means those who believe and do good works from among you. It means that Khilafat will be global, not limited to one country or people. Khilafat has made Ahmadiyya truly global, as we can see and feel in this Jalsa here. And also with over 80 million dedicated men and women to the unity of Allah and the spread of Islam in over 200 countries. There is no Muslim sect or Jamaat which is as global as the Jamaat Ahmadiyya. وَلَا يُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا. He will turn their fears into peace and security. It is implicit in this statement of Allah that this holy community led by a Khalifa will always be under threat and fear. People ask, why are we going under such pressure, suffering? Well, it is in the verse. It is implicit in the verse that this Jamaat will always be under threat from our opponents. This community has passed through several trials and tribulations. The Ahrar movement vowed to pull down the bricks of Qadian in 1935. The mullahs vowed to destroy Ahmadiyya in 1953. A prime minister planned to put begging bowl in the hands of honest and hard-working noble Ahmadis in 1974. A dictator drunk with power vowed to uproot what he called the cancer of Qadianiyat. In all these and other situations, the aim was to create fear, panic, and insecurity among the Ahmadis. The distinctive feature of Ahmadiyya Muslim community is that in all such situations, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the instrumentality of Khilafat to turn the situation of fear into peace and security as promised by Allah. And all those individuals and groups who try to create fear and destruction and panic among the Jamaat met with failure, destruction, and disgrace. It is for the whole world to see.
नारे तकबीर
Allah.
खिलाफत अहमदिया
Zindabad.
शहदाए अहमदियत
Zindabad.
असीरान राह मौला नारे तकबीर
Allahu Akbar.
In 1974, we were students in Rabwa. We witnessed firsthand the atrocities meted out to innocent Ahmadis in Gujranwala, Okara, Sargoda, Chinyot. And by chance, unfortunately, I personally witnessed the burning down of Murad Cloth House one morning in Faisalabad. That time it was known as Lairpur. A situation of fear and sadness was created in Ahmadi homes, though no panic. But as we went to Masjid Aqsa for Juma with sadness and heavy heart, and saw the face of the Khalifa radiating peace, cheerfulness, despite the pain, our fears disappeared. And we came out of the mosque after listening to his sermons, confident and fearless. Indeed, if I remember rightly, it was during those days that our beloved Khalifa coined this phrase, Hamesha Muskrate Raho. You should be cheerful always, despite what they are doing to us. The Khalifa radiated peace and security, exactly as said by Allah in this verse. وَلَيُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا. They can kill our mortal bodies, but they cannot take away our smiles. The whole Jamaat responded with fearlessness and patience, even those Ahmadis who had lost relatives directly. Then you will know that the bond between the Khalifa and the Jamaat is special, something extraordinary that no words can describe. The Khalifa inspired hope and security. Ask any Ahmadi in the villages of Bangladesh, Sierra Leone, anywhere in the world about Hazrat Khalifatul Masih, and you will experience instant love and loyalty unequaled anywhere. Khilafat indeed is the spinal cord of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. That was why a dictator tried to go after our Khalifa, and his fate is a lesson to all. It's a lesson to all future evil adventurers. The commitment to Khilafat is total and unshaken. That you will hear an Ahmadi saying, Khalifa says or Huzur says, and we all obey. The loyalty of Ahmadis to Khalifa emanates from the heart, willingly and happily, like the situation between members of the same family. This indeed is one more distinctive feature of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. In our daily lives, we are often confronted with problems and challenges. Well, let me say here that, of course, in institutions, other institutions, people obey. There's loyalty there, especially in the army, there's loyalty and obedience. But that is mechanical and regimented. In case of Ahmadiyya, it's natural. It comes from our heart. In our daily lives, we are often confronted with problems and challenges. We tried many times to solve them, many a time unsuccessfully. For the members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, the Khalifa is the last stop. We write to him seeking for a way out, and the Khalifa is always willing and able to guide. He does give guidance in all matters with love, extraordinary goodwill, and whatever advice he gives with his prayer, the members of the community always find peace and solace and solution to these challenges. There are thousands of examples from all over the world. The solidarity, unity, cohesion, and sense of purpose exhibited by the Ahmadiyya Muslim community could never have been achieved without Khilafat. Khilafat is indeed the factor which makes Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat special. When we Ahmadis say Labbaika to the Khalifa, we in essence say Labbaika to the Imam Mahdi in obedience to the command of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, who informed us about the advent of the Imam Mahdi and required of us, فَبَايُؤُوهُ وَلَوْ خَبٌ عَلَى ثَلْجِ, pledge allegiance to him. That is why we say labbaika to the Khalifa. Today, finally, we see the disarray, confusion and disunity among the Muslims. We call upon all our Muslim brothers and sisters and tell them, you can never be united and cohesive as a people unless you come under the flag of Khilafat Ahmadiyya. Allah has shown mercy upon all Muslims and forgiven us the cutting down of the glorious tree of Khilafat 13 centuries ago. He has once again replanted the tree of Khilafat and reassured us that this time around, no one can cut it down till the end of the world. Your honor and success and real victory lies in shedding your pride and humbly accepting the Imam. For the righteous are always humble. Mr. Chairman, when we narrate history, when we narrate history, we do that to learn from our mistakes so that we may not repeat them and do the right thing for the present and future. لَقَدْ كَانَ فِي قَصَصِهِمْ عِبْرَةٌ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. That's what the Holy Quran says. We learn from our mistakes. Today, there are hundreds of Muslim sects across the globe, each party or sect claiming to be the true Muslim. كُلُّ حِزْبٍ بِمَا لَدَيْهِمْ فَرِحُونَ. I want to make it clear that there is only one Jamaat, a unique Jamaat. The Jamaat with the distinction, and that is Jamaat Ahmadiyya. Because Jamaat Ahmadiyya is led by a divinely ordained Khalifa. It is that makes Ahmadiyya distinctive. There is no success, there is no victory for Muslims beyond this Jamaat and its Khalifa. Let all those who cherish the unity of Muslims shed their ego and pride and come under the flag of Khalifatul Masih. This is where the success of Islam or the world of Islam lies. Because till the sun shines and the earth rotates around it, the Khilafah ala minhaj an-nubuwwah will continue to illuminate the world, to illuminate all corners of the earth, and give moral and spiritual guidance to the world. May Allah keep the love of Khilafat alive in our hearts always. Amen.
Nara Takbir!
Allahu Akbar.
Nara Takbir!
Allahu Akbar.
Islam Ahmadiyyat!
Zindabad.
Islam Ahmadiyyat!
Zindabad.
Khilafat Ahmadiyya!
Zindabad.
Khilafat Ahmadiyya!
Zindabad.
Hazrat Khalifatul Masih al-Khamis! Hazrat Khalifatul Masih al-Khamis!
Zindabad.
Nara Takbir!
Allahu Akbar.
I just want to narrate a short incident which happened and which is relevant to my speech here this morning. I was on the train on the continent. I met an official, immigration official, who took my passport and asked me, who are you and where are you from? I said, I'm from Ghana. Are you a Muslim? I said, yes, I am a Muslim. Which type of Islam? It seems he was well informed. I said, I am an Ahmadi Muslim. His face brightened up and said, are you a member of that group which follows that man with saintly face, angelic looking, who radiates peace and goodwill, and who lives in London? I said, certainly, certainly. He said, the world is a better place with such people. Then I said, he is our Imam, our leader, and we call him the Khalifa. He said, yes, I've seen him on the screen, and I'm sure the people who follow such a person can only be source of goodwill, source of goodness for the world. Keep it up. He handed over my passport to me and went on without giving me the chance even to do some tabligh. This is a testimony of a non-Muslim, highly professional official, unbiased, honest and sincere. And his verdict is that Khilafat indeed distinguishes the Ahmadiyya Muslim community from all others. If you have a leader like this, you are on the right path. That is what he was trying to tell me. Mr. Chairman, Khilafat indeed is the soul and heart of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. The dynamism of the Jamaat, which has survived the incessant attacks for the past 1 century, is due to the blessing of Khilafat. The first and foremost distinguishing feature of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community that comes into mind is that it is the only Jamaat on this planet among the Muslims which has the unique blessing of fulfilling this promise of Allah contained in the verse that I read. And that is, it is the only Jamaat with a living spiritual succession
to be delivered by Hafiz Ahmad Jibril. I'm sorry, I must inform you that Hafiz Ahmad Jibril Said Sahib is missionary and Naib Amir, Ghana.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعد الله الذين آمنوا منكم وعملوا الصالحات ليستخلفنهم في الأرض كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم وليمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم وليبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا ومن كفر بعد ذلك فأولئك هم الفاسقون. Mr. Chairman and my dear brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
As it has been announced, the title of my presentation this morning is Khilafat, the distinguishing feature of Ahmadiyya Muslim community. The verse that I recited here before you contains a promise, an assurance from Almighty Allah Himself that those who truly believe and do good works will be rewarded with spiritual succession, namely spiritual succession, namely the institution of Khilafat on the earth, just as believers in the past were rewarded with Khilafat. This great reward is conditional on Iman and Amal Salih, that is true faith and righteous conduct of Khilafat. And for over the past 100 years, there has been an unbroken chain of this divine institution, which is the moral and spiritual guidance for the world. Secondly, this Jamaat is distinctive because it is the only community which fulfills and continues to fulfill the conditions established by the Holy Quran itself for the blessings of Khilafat, without which there cannot be Khilafat. And which are the conditions? I'll come to that later. The enemies of the Jamaat must acknowledge this reality, that the fact that the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is distinguished with Khilafat as envisaged by the Holy Quran is a clear evidence that the Jamaat is fulfilling this condition of Iman and Amal Salih, that is true faith and righteous conduct. Before I mention other distinctive features of the community, Mr. Chairman, please allow me a few minutes to go into the memory lane. One of the greatest calamities that befell Islam was the murder of the Khalifa Rashid, Uthman bin Affan, radiallahu ta'ala.